Hello again everybody and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Today you join me once again here at RAF Odium on the flight line with the fantastic Miltech simulation CH47D, known as the Chinook helicopter for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And we're going to very briefly talk about version 1.0.1 released on the 12th of March 2024. And then we're going to go into one of the included missions here from Odium to the Queen Elizabeth carrier down on the south coast. So hit like, hit subscribe, share your thoughts down in the comment section below, and let us know how you're getting on in the mighty Chinook. So the new update has improved performance of downwash effects, which is something that some people have been struggling with performance wise. You will now find a dedicated option here which you can select to disable the downwash effect, and it should then help improve performance, certainly in the outside views with the downwash visible. They've changed the layout of the door options, so now at the bottom now you've almost got different ramp conditions. Closed level full, you can retract the tops, slide or open up the fold with the slide, and you can also open the door with improved logic for side or bottom, and you've got option for hook. All the rest of it is pretty much as you remember from the previous video, and we're going to go into the military exercise Queen Elizabeth Troop Transport. The scenery here, Odium, has been improved as well. There's some blue taxiway lights which were missing before that have now been added. They've done that with a couple of other bits of scenery as well. Some of the other tweaks then include cyclic trim and flight model improvements, improvements to the way the beacon light behaves around the helicopter, and they've also improved the fuel logic, and more importantly fiddled around and improved some of those wonderful sounds which were good already, but they've now adjusted the startup sounds inside and outside the helicopter, adjusted exterior APU combustion loop volume, modified exterior engine combustion volume, slightly adjusted interior and exterior forward transmission whine, adjusted rotor effect blends based on feedback, replaced interior engine sound samples, and replaced those juicy bass and low end samples in the sound notes too. So all very exciting, and we're going to listen to those sounds for this startup shortly. But first we're going to dive into the tablet and activate the mission with CH47D. So as it says there, the Miltech UK Carrier Strike Group is required, 35-minute duration, 45 minutes to target, and that's the mission kind of setup here. Load the troops, take off from Odium, and head towards Romeo 81 QE carrier with the handheld GPS, which we've toggled on down there. To enter the flight plan, we'll just do a direct to, locate the carrier, land on deck, and unload the troops. So with that now active, it's moved the helicopter slightly, not quite sure why. But we are pretty much in the same position as we were before. What I want to do is just get some of the systems online on the helicopter so I can show you the night vision lighting. So we've got battery on, we're going to work through getting the APU on. APU run. And as you can see, I've got the night vision lighting on at the minute because I want to show you this. So we'll go back to the time, about 4:30 when I loaded in. When we triggered the mission, it seemed to pick for some reason, not quite sure why again, but it did load that time. And yeah, look at that, absolutely spectacular, isn't it? The only thing I wish is that Microsoft Flight Simulator had the ability to turn our viewpoint into a night vision mode, because that would make the world of difference. Otherwise it's almost impossible to navigate at night in pitch darkness around us. But yeah, really nice. I just wanted to show you guys that because I didn't in the release video. And then we'll turn our attention to the flight plan. So no active waypoint at the minute. We can just hit nearest airport, Odium, and insert that into the flight plan. Keep it nice and simple, and then below that add a new waypoint. Romeo numbers 081. There's the QE carrier down south of Portsmouth coast. Hit enter and we get that direct track. I've set this up so we have heading up instead. Okay, and from here then, engine 1. Start. So engine 1's running, we'll get the generators online, fire up engine 2. In the back we've got the folks waiting to go to the ship. So cautions, power steering and APU, which we can now turn off. Overhead panels checked and flying controls are good. So with this mission it's loaded in a certain weather profile and we've just kind of left it at that. We've gone for lifetime though. But as you can see, the weather's not too dissimilar for at least where I am in real life now. The current conditions, it's not too far off that. Little pockets of rain and some fairly heavy bits of cloud around the area. So we're clear left, right, and we're just going to go for a straight out departure. Helicopter runways ahead, all the lights, everything set as required. Going to lock the power steering, the warning has gone out. And we'll just keep the momentum alive. Gently increase the power. Out of odium. And a little gentle climb out. We won't go particularly high altitude wise today. The Chinook, of course, is one of the fastest helicopters that's ever kind of flown, and in fact during the Afghanistan war, as a bit of an example, they were constantly pulling away from Apaches during Kazovac missions because of how fast these helicopters were. And don't forget, this isn't the only mission. There are quite a few other missions we were having a little look at a previous video, firefighting missions and that sort of thing as well. There's actually a fair bit of variety for us to get involved in with this, which allows us to have a bit more of a flexible experience. So all the water up ahead, managed to avoid most of the rain actually. We can see the coast just about, so not too far from the carrier now. And we can follow some of these features like the road down below, which will take us towards the coast almost, route towards sort of Portsmouth direction. And we've got that little GPS down there helping us out too, using some kind of trim just to help keep the helicopter a little bit level. We've got a bit of a crosswind battering us a little bit too, so we're trying to balance that to keep everything nice and smooth. So one of the considerations here next is, as we begin to approach the carrier strike group off the coast, is not only how do we approach the carrier, but how do we slow the Chinook down? Because at the moment, as you can see, just as we curve off with the motorway below us here, the A road, we're doing about 150 knots towards our target. But because we're actually flying quite low, what we can do is just begin to ease off on the power and try and keep the helicopter nose level as it is at the minute, and it should basically want to kind of drop a little bit and slow itself down. So we can just begin a very gentle nudge of the nose up just to start to slow the helicopter down. And I'm no heli pilot at all, but I've found for me, if I'm approaching the helicopter around about sort of 80 knots, 75 knots, then I know that I'm probably on profile quite nicely. And in the main, you want to almost kind of treat it like a very long ILS, but for a helicopter. There's no ILS on the carrier, of course. However, if you kind of imagine that little glide path angle going in, it should give you a smooth transition to the side of the carrier, and then you can just grab the chopper in across onto the deck. At least that's the plan. So Portsmouth, just over there, and the carrier strike group just over the beach waiting for us. So now I'm really bringing the speed off. So about 30 knots now. Getting hit by the wind a tiny bit, but we're just getting on to a nice profile towards the ship. I don't know how these guys do it on moving ships. It's quite remarkable, isn't it? Imagine this bobbing up and down in the water. Over the deck. And gently down. A little bit of brakes. Rightio. Bar brakes set. And then to end the mission, we go into our load. We can click troops to unload them. And we can end the mission there by clicking that button, like so. There's no kind of formal end to it, which is a shame. But nevertheless, we are down. But that's not all. What I have done is use flight control replay to capture that landing. So from the wizard point of view, we can have a little look, hang out the door. This is brilliant. I love this. I think this is what they say when you're coming astern the ship. Someone will correct me in the comments. Hopefully this shows you, I'm not a heli guy, but I've always loved the Chinook. There's something about it that it just really captures me. Hopefully these kind of videos show you how much I enjoy this product, and how and why I can kind of recommend you guys buying it and giving it a go. It's a great little sim experience in itself. There's Bruce down there. Get out of the way, mate. Over the deck. Little poke out the window. Touchdown. From the edge of the ship then, side of the deck, I shall leave you with these views. So yeah, share your thoughts in the comments. If you've done this mission as well, let us know how you've got on. Any tips for me as well, down in the comment section below. Hit like, hit subscribe, the links are in the description as well, of course. And I hope to see you join me in the live stream in the very near future. But enjoy this replay of the touchdown, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.